This video will take you through the process of installing Read and Understood from the Microsoft Marketplace, granting the app permissions, adding the app to a SharePoint page and configuring it, creating an Entra Group to install the Acknowledge Teams app and use it to send an acknowledgement request, publishing a document for acknowledgement, acknowledging the document through a Teams activity request, and finally, viewing the acknowledgement report. From the site homepage you wish to add Read and Understood to. Click the cog at the top right of the page, then click Add an App. From the My Apps page, click Find More Apps in the SharePoint store. In the search box, type Read and Understood and press Enter. You'll see both the Read and Understood and Acknowledge apps listed. We'll be adding both. By adding Acknowledge, users will be able to manage requests through Teams, SharePoint, or Outlook. Click the Read and Understood for SharePoint Online option, then click Add to App Site. You will be prompted to confirm data access. Do not change the app availability options, and click Add. Click the Browser Back button to return to your app search results, then click Acknowledge and click Add to App Site. When prompted to confirm data access, click Add. Using the links at the top of the page, you can now return to your SharePoint site via the SharePoint Store homepage. Before we configure the app, we must grant the Read and Understood app permissions to your 365 tenant. A consent link provided below will require you to sign in with an account that has permissions to grant enterprise application permissions. Click Accept and you will be redirected to the installation page in our website. Back at the SharePoint site homepage, we can now create a page to place the Read and Understood app on. From the home page, click Create at the top of the page. You will be presented with the template gallery, where you will see both of the apps we added previously. Click Read and Understood, then click Use this template. In the Title Properties box, enter Read and Understood app and click Save. Adding the title will also create the page with the same name. You must now choose a region for hosting the application. If the region you need isn't listed, please contact us. For an evaluation, we recommend choosing the region closest to you geographically. Confirm on the subscription page, locate the section Unlimited Sites and click Select for the Build Yearly. You can change this later and there is no commitment to purchase while on a trial. A summary of the subscription chosen will appear. You are required to confirm that you have read our Terms of Service, Privacy Policy, and GDPR Privacy Notice. Once the confirmation is checked, you can click the Agree, Subscribe, and Start My Trial button. Complete the form details provided. The details entered are used to create a Zoho customer portal subscription for Read and Understood. You will be sent an email to complete the process. Please ensure you do this. Click Enable Subscription. We now have to wait a couple of minutes while we create a new database in our Azure tenant to host your Acknowledge data. We provide details regarding the information stored in our database, such as document IDs, document versions, user SIDs. No document content is stored in Read and Understood. We simply provide SharePoint links to files for users to read and acknowledge them. An email address must be provided, which can be an individual or team. The email address is only ever used by us in the event we need to share important information with you. Click the Validate button, which will send an email to the address set. Take the code from the email and set it to verify. We next need to set an email address used to send email on behalf of the app for either user acknowledgements or summary reports. Once validated, the values will be saved, but can be changed later if required. We will enable a few options in the app. Send acknowledgement requests to Microsoft Teams as activities, and provide a URL to the Acknowledge app on a SharePoint page, which you can set later. For those users that do not have the Teams app installed or for external users, the app can email those users providing a link to a page where they can read and acknowledge documents. Automatic reissue for those that do not acknowledge within the time set. Save the changes. From the app navigation, click Enable Libraries. We will now enable a library for Read and Understood acknowledgements. We only work with libraries you choose to enable. Once enabled, we'll redirect you in the app to our Document Selectors page. A document selector is a way you can define rules by which the app can target documents for acknowledgement requests. First, we should set up permissions and grant those who will maintain these rules with edit permissions. In addition, we'll grant users the ability to publish acknowledgement requests immediately. Typically, the app will do this automatically for you overnight. However, if you need to get an acknowledgement request out to users immediately, then you can use the App Publish option, which I'll demonstrate shortly. Close the panel. We will edit the pre-created library document selector. Update the description to include the library name. Next, we'll enable Use SharePoint columns for addressees. The app will create, if they don't already exist, 3 site columns of type people and group picker, then add them to the enabled library. Now set the document owner, which could be one or more users, or you can use a shared mailbox. The owner will be sent an email at the end of each cycle summarizing those that have or have not acknowledged. Set the duration. For a trial, we advise 3 to 5 days max, but in production 30 days is a good guide. Set send reminder, when in trial, to 2 days, for production, 7 days. This is how long after the initial notification the app will wait before sending a reminder to those users who have not acknowledged. Lastly, set repeat reminder. Depending on the duration set, the app will calculate days between the initial notification and the reminder, listing the number of times you can repeat reminders within the remaining duration. Set Send Manager a direct report summary. Like Owner Summary, the app uses the Manager property from Entra ID that details only the manager's direct reports involved. Enable onboarding by setting the Notify New Members on first use. This option is particularly useful if your documents already exist and updates are not required to them. We'll start the process for all documents with a new version. While onboarding is typically for new users added to groups, it can also be used to start an acknowledgement cycle for existing documents. To evaluate onboarding, once the first acknowledgement cycle has started, add other users to the Entra ID group. Overnight, the app will request acknowledgements of those users added. Save the changes. So that we can receive acknowledgement requests through Microsoft Teams, we'll now create a security group in Entra so that we can publish the Acknowledge application to those users evaluating read and understood. If your preference is to not use Teams, then other options, such as emails, are available to you. Provide a name and description for the security group and create the group. We'll now add users to the group who will be evaluating the app. We'll now head over to the Teams Admin Center. From the Teams Apps section in the navigation, click Manage Apps. This will provide a view of all apps in your tenant. Use the search box to find Acknowledge. Click the Acknowledge app name. Now click Users and Groups. Now click Edit Installs. This will open a panel so we can decide how we install the app for users. Set Install to specific users and groups. Use the search box provided to add the security group we previously created. Click Apply to save the changes. Go to the library you enabled. 3 site columns have been created by the app for us to manage user acknowledgements. Within the library, click Add a column. Click Show or Hide columns. Check the options for 2 columns RAU_acknowledgement addressees and RAU_notify addressees and click Apply. The 2 columns will be added to the library view. Select the drop-down for the column header for RAU_acknowledgement addressees. Click Column Settings, then click Edit. Give the column a more meaningful name. Repeat the steps for RAU_notify addressees. I've added several documents and add Entra groups to each document for the acknowledgement addressees. It's very likely that your documents will need acknowledging by different groups or teams within your organization. I'll add another group to the absence management document by selecting the document, opening the details panel and adding one of my groups to acknowledgement addressees. Make sure you lose focus from the SharePoint people and group picker column so the change is saved. This demonstrates how we can assign one or many groups to a document for addressing users to acknowledge. A new version of the document initiates a read and understood lifecycle, and the app will identify members of the group, sending an acknowledgement reading request to each member. If the library has major and minor versioning and approval enabled, read and understood will not request users acknowledge until the document version is approved or published as a major version. We'll now run through the process of sending immediate acknowledgement reading requests for the documents updated. You only need to do this if you need your users to immediately read the document and acknowledge. Else, our automated overnight processing will pick up the changes and send the requests. Back in the Read and Understood app. From the navigation, go to Manage Document Selectors. Click the site, click the library. Click the play icon in the top right of the page. The play icon loads the Manage Document Version Lifecycles page. This will check the library for any documents that have been updated and are available for read and understood to send acknowledgement reading requests for. We can select the documents and click Process Selected Documents now. The app will start sending Teams activities or emails to users in the groups assigned to those documents. We'll jump into Microsoft Teams, view the activities. We can see the activity requests to acknowledge. Clicking the activity will open the app from which we can click the link to open the document from within SharePoint, something useful for mobile devices. Back to the Acknowledge app, we can see the Acknowledge button. Click this and a panel will open with both the acknowledgement request and the document to acknowledge reading. Having read the document, click the confirmation checkbox and the button to complete the acknowledgement is now enabled. Click the button. The Acknowledge panel can be fully customized within the Read and Understood application. A new acknowledgement reporting feature, available 2026, Quarter 3, provides both real-time and historical data. During your evaluation, once available, you will be able to use this to view acknowledgement history. Two Read and Understood options appear in the library. One is for selected documents, the other for all documents in the library, where we'll start. I'll pick one of the documents in the library. This will show all the versions for that document. By opening the current version history, we can see those that have and have not acknowledged. If I exit that document version, I can now apply a filter by employee, showing acknowledgement requests for that user. Again, you'll see all documents they were asked to acknowledge, the document status and whether the user has acknowledged or not. Notice that Excel exports can be downloaded should you need to keep a record. The final option we'll demonstrate is how a single document can be selected to view the history of only that file. As we saw previously, we can see the versions, and by clicking the current version we'll see who has and has not acknowledged. Read and Understood, including Acknowledge, are now set up. To summarize, we have installed the apps from the Microsoft Marketplace, granted the app permissions, add the app to a SharePoint page and configured it, created an Entra Group to distribute Acknowledge to the evaluating users, publish the documents to acknowledge, use the Acknowledge app in Teams to read and complete the acknowledgement. Finally, view reports within the app of those who have or have not acknowledged.